My hair is so jacked up. It's all good.
No, you look great. You look great.
Oh,
Let's see.
sure. You're very sweet. He's so good at this, you guys. I'm telling you. This is why Ari is the hype man. Like, for real.
No,
He's
just telling the
so
truth.
humble. And so humble.
Just telling the truth. All right, so I think we're live in multiple places now. I put a little I guess I'll put a little message on my TikTok telling people that I am live in multiple areas. Actually, are you in TikTok? I don't see you in there.
I am. I don't see you live on TikTok.
I am definitely live on
Oh, there
TikTok.
you are.
Same user.
There I
Hey,
am.
Coyote, same username. Actually, no. YouTube is sorry. I'll give you. YouTube is NH Talk. Man, that's the YouTube. NH Talk is the YouTube that we are live on right now. Bridget or Melody, could either of you do me a favor too? Because I'm like, could one of you just like put a ping out into Discord for anyone that's like in Discord, New Hampshire Discord that wants to jump in? I would love you guys forever.
Aria, I don't know what to turn off on my TikTok audio.
Mm-hmm.
Is
What's
it
that?
sounding okay? Do I need to turn something off on TikTok? Because
No,
I
I
didn't
just
put
want I
my
just want
audio
to
or do anything.
no, I just wanted to make sure I just wanted to make sure you turned your speakers off on TikTok so like my voice wasn't coming through your phone into your computer speakers, but I don't hear myself, so I
Oh,
think you're okay.
no. Nope. I think we're good.
Yeah.
And you
Awesome.
didn't invite me in the TikTok, which is why I can't see myself yet.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's why I don't know if I can hear myself either. Hold on, let me see let me find you. There you are. Why can't I invite you?
You don't like me, do you? You're just pretending.
Uh,
You don't want to help me.
did that work?
Then I left. So that, yeah, I'll accept it. I guess I'll hang out.
Sweet. There we
Now
go.
that's you have to hit mute, brother.
Yep, I did.
Yeah. Okay, and I will get the I've literally got like 4 board games piled on top of an ottoman to put my computer on it. Oh, that's fun.
But
That is
we're
good
making it
times.
work. We are making it work. We are live on multiple things right now with State Rep Paige Boschman. How's it going, Paige?
It's going well. Oh, look, you can see my phone camera. I'm sorry, everybody. Arya's like more of a, he is more of an expert at this. And
No,
so
you're
also,
doing
I'm not
great.
sure.
You're
Yeah,
doing great.
here's my
We're this
camera.
is
I'm
the
gonna turn
most.
that on.
There you go. There you go. Nice. Awesome.
Right, there we go, everybody. And I guess
These
I'm gonna try to not read the comments because I think that gets me totally like,
yeah.
you
Yeah, don't
know,
worry about the comments.
it's
We'll worry about the
distracting.
comments over here. Yeah. I mean, this is I'm actually happy with how this has gone. I know you don't give yourself enough credit here, Paige, but we are live on we're on Discord with our people here in New Hampshire Talk. Hello, friends in New Hampshire Talk. And this is going out into Twitch. It's going out into YouTube, and we have our phones on TikTok. We are live on we are going worldwide right now. So one step at a time. So how are you? How is everything? You've been busy
Oh
these
my
days,
God.
right?
I'll tell you what, this is like the whole, I always feel like I don't want to whine and complain, but y'all, like being a working person and a a legislator in New Hampshire is like, it's insane, like as an example, I wanted to go and testify this morning on a bill to not repeal the New Hampshire childhood vaccine schedules, but I couldn't go because I was working at public health giving children childhood vaccines.
What a
You know?
world.
Like, yeah, and it's like, but that's what it made me think of too, was like, that's one of the problems, is that you have the people who are doing the work who either can't serve or at the very least cannot be there, right? And that's why this is happening, and this is why we don't get enough testimony. That is, I mean, we do get a lot, but that's one of the reasons, because people are working. And it just kind of really reminded me of that. But yeah, also my daughter has not been really well. We've been going in and out to like urgent care and the ER. She's like fine. She has like a chronic thing that is like flaring up. So she's like not in danger, but that just takes up like, she's my daughter. I want to give her good care. We spent like 9 hours in the ER yesterday. So it just like it adds up, trying to stay on top of all the bills and all the things that are happening. It's but I will say that it's a lot. You know what? You asked me how I am. I'm doing great. I am actually doing
No,
great despite
I'm
everything. I am, yeah, no, 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 no. I just
I think you're describing the life of a working mom in the political system right now in New Hampshire. And
yeah.
that's why I
Mhm.
think like, people like the reps like you that are out there fighting I mean, what do there are things in life that you have to prioritize. And I hope Ruth is feeling okay and everyone's doing
Oh
well.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I had heard about this. I mean, tell us a little bit about this vaccine bill, because this is the same one
yes,
that is this is the same one that has, I mean, people can still make online testimony on this until midnight
yes,
tonight, right?
yes. And you know what? I haven't checked in a while, and I just saw Ken's. I don't know if she's watching, but when I looked at around 1:30 today, what I saw was that there was somewhere. So, okay, so this bill is about repealing. And so what we want is, we do want opposition. So if you're opposed to the bill, that means you're pro-vaccine. Sometimes we see people get a little bit mixed up on that. And
Hmm.
so you see somebody write something in, and they'll say that they're in this case, somebody might say they're in support of the bill, and then they're like, vaccines are really important. We need to have them for everybody's health. And you're like, oh, they didn't understand the double negative. And it happens all the time. So I hope that's what's happening. But today around 1:30, there were in the 3,000s were in support of repealing the vaccine schedule, and only in the 2,000s were opposed to it. So we have a lot to do, because right now, if we're saying we want our legislators to look at the submissions of the people, right now there are way more people saying they don't want vaccines than do. Now I just have to take a pause for this for a minute, because as I said, I was at public health today, and I was talking to our per diem physician, and we were talking about how infuriating it is that medicine is legislated. Like, can we just start there? Why are legislators and citizens even weighing in on an evidence based public health measure? Like, why is that something that can even happen? Like last week or a few weeks ago, even as a nurse, I was voting on a bill about what ophthalmologists and optometrists' scope of practice should be in New Hampshire. Why is any legislator voting on that? I don't even want to make that decision as a nurse, because it's not my specialty. So see, you asked me one thing and I just go to all the things, Aria, because there's so
No,
many things to
that's
tell
but
you.
this is no, but this is absolutely the world that we're in right now. And I just want to tell people, Ken's, I see your messages in TikTok. It is HB 1811, HB 1811. Right now, that is it's in the Senate, correct? Page
No, HB
in the
means House
House.
bill.
House, sorry. Oh yeah,
Yep.
idiot. House bill. Yeah, sorry.
No,
Brain
you're
broken right now.
not.
Um,
Aria, people don't get that for a while sometimes. Like, there's a lot of little things, so don't ever call yourself an idiot.
yeah, I'm an idiot anyway. Besides getting that, no, but no, I just want to make sure people know that they can still, again, and what Ken's gave us the updated numbers here. She said 3406 supporting, 2997 opposing, with 2 neutral. So we can still make moves here,
Yeah.
between now and I think midnight. I think we still have that time, and I will make sure I
Yeah.
will put in my own online testimony as well.
Yeah, and you know what else? A lot of times I've noticed when you have things that are like a big national issue like that, like circumcision bills always have this happen. Sometimes the vaccine bills. I saw this with, I can't remember what else it was. But sometimes you will see that you'll get a bunch of, some of the anti-trans bills as well. You'll see that a huge number of the folks who are writing or submitting online testimony are actually from out of state, and they're like the national organizations or advocacy groups that will like fly people in or like send out an email to all the groups across the country, and have people write in. So I thought that maybe that was what was happening, but I don't know if you've noticed, but when you go look at the online testimony, you can actually filter it by state. And so I looked through, and there's very few that are from out of state. And that was extremely surprising to me. Very surprising. I think that this bill is getting a lot of attention because when you think about vaccines, this is one of the most over or far reaching bill. So another bill I testified that was anti-vax this year was they're trying to ban marketing of vaccines, which the reason I laugh is because can you tell me the difference between what does marketing mean versus evidence-based public health education campaign, right? Like
Right.
how do you, so they want to call it marketing. Okay, but here's the thing. That's not a bill that gets a lot of attention necessarily. So it actually worked in our favor because it wasn't necessarily about repealing. So we had tons of people who wrote in opposed to that bill. So that's why I'm really, really surprised that we don't have more people trying to stop this one. But I think we have a lot of people who see that and they say, great, no more vaccines, and they're taking the time to write in. So I don't know. We need to get a lot of people to write in. We still have 3 more hours. One thing I want to say though is I always want to remind people that I know we've been really, really focused on calling in and that, or excuse me, writing online submitting online testimony.
Mhm.
And that is super, super, super important. I am so glad everybody's doing it. But what we really haven't had yet is a regular voting day. So we had a voting day like a few weeks ago, but that was all like leftover stuff. So what everybody's into it right now hasn't really got to experience yet is a real voting day and watching the bills that they're watching in hearings go through the whole process. And I think once you follow a bill through the whole process this session, a lot of it becomes clear. So right now, there are bills starting in the House, there are bills starting in the Senate, they go to their hearings. If they pass the hearing, then, well, no matter what, right? No matter what happens in the hearing, whether something passes or they vote against it, it's still going to go to the full House for a vote. So no matter what happens at any of these hearings right now, we still have more opportunities, albeit it's a little bit more time intensive or labor intensive. It's not just signing in, but there's still a lot that we can do. So, for instance, let's say that this anti vax bill repealing, right? Let's say that it passes when this committee goes to vote on it. The committee is like, yes, we think this should pass. The next thing that happens is that's going to go to the full House floor. Um, so between now and when they actually vote on it, and it's hard to know when they're going to vote on it because usually they'd announce it way in advance. But this year, some of the committees are literally saying, oh, we could which means vote on bills, we could vote on them any day. And so they're technically giving you a public notice, but you don't actually know when they're going to vote. But theoretically, let's say by the end of the night, you didn't get to testify, or you're afraid that they're gonna pass this. I would recommend calling every legislator on the committee and letting them know. So you can call or email anybody who's on that committee before they vote in committee. And then once they vote in committee, if it passes, then that's when everybody needs to start calling their representatives before it goes to a floor vote. So right now, we're not seeing a ton of that. Most of the bills that we're voting on tomorrow did not get a lot of attention for their hearings. But in the next few voting weeks, you guys are going to start seeing those come through. And that's really going to pull it all together in like how you're thinking about the process and what each step of the way, like how you feel about each step of the way. Like I know that today when we have the hearings, they're huge. We want to write in, but I don't totally lose hope because I know we still have more steps and lots that we can do before it's like all said and done.
Absolutely. And
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm great. I mean, I thought, listen, I part of what I wanted to talk about here with you too. I mean, and I was possibly thinking of making some videos about it, but like doing that whole resolution process with you, and then speaking there, those were all firsts for me. They were all like humps that I got over, things that like I kind of demystified through the process.
Yes,
And I just
right?
it was so amazing, and I feel so empowered to do it again. Like I want to just do it over and over again now,
I
in
know.
areas that I
I
really care
do.
about. And I just hope and I wanted to talk to people about how truly easy it is for you to speak to one of our 400 state reps, very accessible reps, or and you want to get a resolution in, how easy it was for me, how simple it was, especially with your help page, how we were able to get
Yeah.
in the Gaza resolution. And it was just, for me, I thought it was going to be so much more complicated. I thought like I was going to have to sign up ahead of time. I was going to have to talk to people. But no, it was just showing up, knowing what I wanted to say. I mean, after we had even the resolution part, I think my part was pretty easy. What was your part in that? That's what I want to kind of talk.
Yeah.
So after
Yeah.
me and you spoke, and I'm like, okay, here's the kind of the numbers and the text that we want to kind of like work with and throw in there.
Yes.
What did you
Yes.
do before that went into the committee and all that?
Yeah, sure. Sure. So hold on one second.
Please, yeah, absolutely. Take your time.
Um no, I just was getting a notification that Bridgerton is back, so got to make a mental note
It's,
of that.
priorities. Yeah.
There's like, okay, this is sidebar, but there's like, okay, this is so weird. There's like two shows that I can watch with my husband and lately, and one of them is the Umbrella Academy because we both like different pieces of that, and the other one is Bridgerton. I don't know how. I watched like two seasons and he laughed at me. Then I made him watch like 5 minutes with me, and now he watches it with me, and I
Umbrella Academy
totally
is a
love
good, is it? I
it.
love that too. That's like right up my alley. I love that
Oh,
show.
I mean, that's so good. Okay, but here's what happened. Now, first of all, what I want to do is make sure that we're clear on the difference between a resolution and a bill, because
Absolutely.
a bill, a bill, that's why you have HB. HB means House Bill. A bill means that we are going, that this is something that we want to become a law, that this will be something that will be enforced and like has to happen, right? We have to make this happen. It's a law. A resolution is a little bit different, and there's a few kinds of resolutions. Um, so if you ever see CACR, that's actually a constitutional change. So that's recommending a change to the Constitution. And HCR is a House something else concurrent resolution, and what that means is they want it to go through the House and the Senate. A House resolution, which is what you and I wrote, HR, House
Hmm.
resolution, means it only has to pass the House. And it means that we're just making a statement that we all agree on. So we're saying, like, this is something we stand behind. So for Medicare for All, what we're saying was, hey, we're making a statement. We want to say, as a body, that Medicare for All is important. It's what the people want right now. And we as legislators maybe don't know how we're going to do it this year, or we're not in a funding year, but we're saying this is important and we care about it. And I think when you're talking about what you and I did, especially about something, another reason to do that is when it's something that we on the state level don't have any say over. So we don't fund ICE. We don't, we have no jurisdiction over the Department of Homeland Security. But what we can do is we have a platform, right? I get like this is not the flex that this is not a flex, but like I get cards from the president, right? Like I actually have a Christmas card I didn't open up yet from Maggie Goodlander. So so the idea is that we're supposed to have like a closer relationship. And so by making a resolution, we're saying, hey, we're using our state platform to say this is what we as a body believe, and this is what we are calling on you to do because this is what the people want. The people have elected us on the very small level. There's a lot of us. This is what the people want, and this is what we're saying we should stand behind and move towards. Okay, so and so so just to get that clear, so we could say a resolution, a bill, they're all pretty much the exact same thing.
Hmm.
So I can start writing a bill on my own. I can write anything I want. Or what I prefer to do is have a constituent tell me there's something they want and work with me. And so you were like, hey, we want to do this. I was like, oh my God, I want to. I don't have all the details I need. And that's another thing is as an expert. So I also had like you're an expert on this topic. I also had some physical therapists who specialize in pelvic floor physical therapy, and they were like, we need to get some of this covered by health insurance. So I'm like, great, you guys know all the things you need. Let me know, and I'll work with people to get it done. So what happens is when somebody says they want a bill, I need to get like the basic ideas, and we have to decide what we want it to do. So a resolution is a lot easier because you have to think about like how you want something to work or how to fund it. You're just
Hmm.
making a statement of what you believe. So that's a little bit easier. So on that end of things, what I did was you gave me the info. We got like the gist of like what we wanted. And this is like the biggest thing that people think is so hard about legislating is they think writing the bill is going to be this huge like writing the bill is actually the actual words. We have a whole department of attorneys that do that.
Hmm.
They're called the Office of Legislative Services, OLS. So there's like a whole team of attorneys. They all specialize in their certain areas. We literally can like hand in like I want to make it so that Medicaid doesn't allow this. And they like write it into legalese and that's the bill you see. Like that so like that right there would demystify like serving for tons and tons of sorry. Good night. I have a 13-year-old who is waving at me and loving the cats and everything.
Absolutely.
He has long hair down to here and he just took a shower, so he's like waving at me like he's a wet dog.
I
It's
was gonna
cute.
say
He
he's
has
starting to. The last time I saw him, he was looking like a split between like a surfer and a rock star. Like I couldn't tell like which direction he
oh
was going in. I love it.
well, he's actually a rock climber and skateboarder. So
Wow,
if
yeah,
that
hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It fits the bill.
yeah, it fits the bill. Okay, so that's the thing with legalese, which is really funny. So anyway, that happens, and then the next thing is, so I submit it to them. That's when we were talking about all the LSRs. So when you submit like that, like you submit your paper to them, like here's what I want it to be. Then they assign it as an LSR. Like, okay, that Gaza, like this piece of info about Gaza is LSR, 242, whatever it is. And then once they write it, they send it to us and we get to approve the language, make sure there's nothing we want to edit, nothing that we want to change. I think remember like when they sent me the bill, I was like, hey, I got these numbers. Are these still the same? Will you make sure that we don't want any changes? And so you did that check for me. And then I was able to say, okay, great, everything's good. And I like went in the system and was like, yes, I approve this. This is where I want it to be. And when it turns into a bill, that's when they give it a name or a number. So HB, or HR, because it was a House resolution. I think that was 30, right? HR 30 or HR
37.
12. 37.
Hmm.
Yes, 12 was Medicare for all. This was
Hmm.
37 and HR 30 was another one. Anyway, yeah, so they give it a name and then the next thing is you have to get co-sponsors. So you have to be talking to other legislators. So that's when you start to get some strategy, right? So like I know who my like pro Gaza people are. I'm on the Progressive Caucus. It's not hard. You'll start if you once you start knowing who's on the Progressive Caucus, you start looking at our bills, and you're like, why are these all the same people? And so when you're on a Progressive Caucus, it's pretty easy. Or like if you like, I know who all my reproductive health people are. Like you know who all the science and tech people are, but you have to get people to co-sign it, and then they assign it to a committee. And so the other thing is, if it's a really strategic bill, like as an example, I have that paid family medical leave bill, and we'll talk about it more. I'm going to do a live with Ken's about it. But let's say I wanted to do something really big like that. What I would also need to be doing is building my coalition. So wait, this is way too much because you're just talking about on your end, right? Or
No,
is
I mean,
that like,
no, that is great input, because my next question would have been like, so like I do have a question based on the answers you gave on the
yeah,
co-sponsors. Like,
yeah, yeah.
what's stopping a progressive member, say a progressive member of the caucus, from co-sponsoring every progressive bill? I mean, what, or a resolution? What's
Nothing. There's
so
no,
why
there's
not?
really,
Why wouldn't
it's
someone do something like
logistical
that? Okay,
because
I
there's
see.
1,000 bills, and it's
Right.
just like, Representative Lamontagne, I know that she does Medicare stuff, like Medicare for all stuff. I had heard her talking about it, and I was like, please make sure I'm on that bill. I'll help you with it. Let me know.
Absolutely.
When I started putting out reproductive health bills, so what we did as a Dem caucus at the beginning of the season is we had a bunch of meetings where we had some systems where we got together to let people know, to let the rest of the caucus know what kind of bills we were interested in writing. Because some bills, like, yeah, like they're just a cosigner, but for some of them, like you're actually going to work with those people and they're going to help you on it. Sometimes it's strategic. So when we were trying to pass Mom the Bus 2.0, we specifically had that was a big one. We had to bring in all of the women's maternal child health advocacy groups. We brought in health groups. We brought in like physician associations and nurse associations and doula associations and midwife associations. We brought in, Ken's will know, I can never remember what it was, and please forgive me, religious people, but whatever like the Catholic highest level bishop person is in a state, we had the omnibus bill. We had all the doctors come in, we had the moms come, and then we had the highest level Catholic like figurehead in the state come and say, if you are pro-life, then you need to support this bill because this is a pro-life bill. So let's say I was trying to pass paid leave. I would want to start talking with commerce groups. I'd want to talk with small business associations. I'd want to start building allies with, say, people on like other legislators on the commerce committee, because that's where it will go. I met with David Bates actually because he has some historical context because he was serving on the committee when the existing paid leave that we have right now, when that bill came out in
Shout out to
2018,
David Bates,
he
is
was
in
serving.
Discord right now. He's
Yeah,
watching right now in Discord.
yeah,
I
yeah,
see a symbol. I
yeah,
can't miss that.
yeah, yeah. So he's there, and he was like, okay. He was like, if you're going to do this, he's like, here's the history of it. Here's what the arguments against it were. Here were the dissenters. Here were their reasons why. Here are the kind of people that you need to like build a coalition with and like get on board and help you advocate and all of that. Um, and so like that's the kind of thing, and that's the difference between legislators, right? Somebody might just write a bill and then never look at it again. I've heard that there are people that write bills and literally don't show up to their own hearings. But then you can do something where you're really, really trying to bring in a lot of people. And that, there are some legislators that don't write bills. So there's really all that different level. And that's really like when you're talking about the quality of a legislator, that's part of the things that once you get really nuanced, you could start looking at.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I no, I found the whole process enlightening, and the kind of some of the people there, I just, it's obvious that they're letting just about anyone become a state rep, like and
I
some of
mean,
those committees, it's just archaic. I feel like some of the questions I
I mean,
received, were a bit, I don't know. I felt like I was speaking to people who don't, They don't go outside much. They don't look at the news much. They don't really know what's going on in the world, you know. Let alone, or even what's going on in New Hampshire. You know, like this whole playing stupid with, you know, I could go on and on with like the Merrimack ice facility and all that stuff, but there is there's definitely a different air when people are there, though, taking up that space. When we were there today at 155 during HB 155, that room was full. I couldn't even get into that room. I was given let in the room for people that were like, you know, going to speak, and they killed it. The people that were there today like absolutely killed it. And I think that's noticeable.
Yep.
I mean, that's definitely noticeable to the committee members. So
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I think I would say one thing I love about people coming in, I love helping somebody come in for the first time to testify because it is such an empowering experience and it's so cool. And I saw, I think Marissa testified today.
yeah. Oh, did I lose you? Oh, Paige, I might have lost you on. I might have lost you on your laptop.
Your voice,
Oh, there you are.
but to
Okay.
see how disgusting the state reps are that are up there on the in the other party, and to see how they will speak to people and their disregard for their constituents, and when it becomes so evident that they are doing this for selfish reasons and not because they care about anybody in this state. I always say it lights a fire that fuels the rest of this fight. Like you cannot go back. Once you go and do that and see that, it changes you forever, I think. I mean, I don't know, you're the one who did it most recently, but I know that being
Yeah.
there had that's the experience I've had.
No, I wanna say that, like, no, that first hump, I mean, it really demystifies a lot. And I'm just gonna expand this so people can see some of the Discord chat. Discord, we have Discord going on too for you people that are yeah, we're everywhere. We're everywhere. We're worldwide today, guys. You better catch us somewhere, and you will catch us somewhere. Just, you know, flip a coin or something. No, it's a demystifying experience. It absolutely um I don't know what other better word to use in that. It's one of those things where once, like, I'm kind of hooked to it now. I knew,
Oh
like,
yeah.
I was there with a group of people like that were, you know, like Bridget's in the chat, Marissa was there, Ken's was there, there's a whole bunch of Mel was there. I like, and when I couldn't make it into the room, I'm like, you know, I'll wait. But I think I'm gonna be making more, I'm gonna be talking all the time, especially on these resolutions and bills that mean a lot to me. I mean, even this vaccine bill, I mean, I don't have children, okay? You know, I'm not one of the cohorts that's, you know, I might not have children, but that doesn't even matter. I have Crohn's disease, you know, so I'm taking biologics that shoot like they nuke my immune system, you know, so I have to be careful already. And now you are taking even more responsibility off of, you know, parents and society, and you're putting it onto the individual, right? Like now I'm
Yep.
already walking around with a nuked immune system. I have to be super
Well,
super super careful now, you know? Like it doesn't
just
seem so
the
much
thing
about
though, it's
like
like
go ahead. Sorry.
well, just no, no, just that like this is the kind of thing, this attitude of it doesn't affect me, so I don't want it. Like what you're saying, you're like, oh, like I don't have kids, but it still matters. Like that's right. Like because everything we do in a community impacts other people. And a lot of people have this whole thing about vaccines. Well, I get to make the choice for me. It's like, have you ever read any kind of article about medicine in the last 100 years? Because we know about a little thing called herd immunity, right? And this is the same thing that happened during COVID. This isn't an individual choice. This isn't an individual, like, you are not making an individual choice whether you think you are going to get harmed or not. You are actively making a choice that will hurt other people. Like, it's not an opinion. It's not, I feel this or I feel that. It's a scientific fact. If you are doing this, you are actively making a choice to harm other people and you will kill people. and
Yeah, yeah,
and you know when
absolutely.
we give it validity, like, so but the point, but that's what I mean is that like everybody in the community should care about kids getting vaccinated because
For
that's
sure.
how we all get vaccinated, right? Because then you wouldn't even be vaccinated right now, maybe.
Right. No, and respectfully, like I think I see this question a lot, which is like why, and it's from a TikTok question, which I get it, like why would you speak on something that, the question is like if you don't have kids, why would you speak on it? Well, I mean, I don't, I've never been in the army and I worry about how we treat the people in the military. And like I don't know, I don't have kids, but I worry about how kids are getting educated in school. I think I can care and I think that's like part of like I guess part of the issue right now in American culture is that
That's what I
like
was saying, right?
yeah,
That's what I was answering,
unless it's
actually. I saw the
directly
comment.
directly
Get it.
affecting you versus and it's okay. I mean, I think there was a time where I was kind of offended by that question, but I'm not anymore because I understand where it's coming from. I get it. Like
Oh, see,
listen, I don't want to hate on people. I don't want to hate on people over their because there's a willingness to learn from this chatter at least, which is like we can see how at a certain point how worrying about your neighbor is worrying about yourself. That is the same thing exactly like you said. So
yeah. I
I
don't,
think it's really important.
I don't, do you think that that question was in good faith? Because it's coming from Daddy, can you make me wet?
No,
So
I
I'm not
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't actually think the
It's
question
okay.
was in good faith. I
I
thought that
saw
they
that
were, that they were,
I
yeah.
saw I saw that username before, but the questions they're asking do seem in good faith, so I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt for now until the
Oh,
questions don't seem
okay.
in good faith. I saw the name
Well,
too
and see,
and
I have
yeah.
so okay, so here's the thing too. I am way, way more pessimistic because I am up there fighting all the time.
Sure.
And so I am used to things not being in good faith with
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh
women
yeah, for sure,
about
for sure. No, I
vaccines
feel
and that
that.
kind of stuff, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No,
Uh,
I think this is again, I think this is more of a macro thing that me and you have even talked about offline, which is there is there is an empathy problem in America. I mean, I think that's ultimately this idea that we like again people not caring until it hits their backyard is the problematic thought process. And I think people are like kind of coming around to that. I think people are kind of learning now that there is no cavalry coming. Now you have to know who your neighbors are. You have to get involved with these community groups. That's your greatest power right now is like your apartment complex, your zip code. The people I showed up with today, the people at the state house that are our allies. I mean, I think these are going to be very important months to come in ally building.
I am well, I can save this for our hopeful ending, but I feel extremely hopeful right now. I really, really, truly do. But yeah, but we can talk about that later. So anything else
No,
that you have questions about today?
yeah, I wanted to, there was, so what's on your docket right now? What are you working on right now? What's your next thing that you're showing up to the state house for? The next thing you're working on? What's on the page docket?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So right now, I still have the paid family medical leave bill. There's a bunch of stuff to talk about. We're gonna do a whole live on that, but we are trying to get it to be an interim study. So people do say that an interim study is the nice way for to kill a bill, but we actually do want to study it. So that's the thing that I'm working on. I'm doing um, a lot of my bills have already come up. So like most of my bills all came up last week. So I am getting a little bit of a break. Um, but I am trying to keep track. I'll tell you honestly, we don't find out until the week before. So like we're usually scrambling on like tomorrow night we'll probably get what the votes will be for the next week, and then that's when we'll be scrambling to try to bring people together. And I know Ken's knows about this as well because that's what her schedule is like as well. So this year I'm definitely paying attention to anything having to do with ICE and immigration. There's 5 anti-vax bills, so I'm going to try to make sure that I'm there for that. And And then as our bills go through, I just got the emails today that a bunch of the bills that we sponsored are going to be exec. When I say exec, are you guys like, is that becoming a word
Mhm.
people are using yet? Or
No,
so,
I have
okay,
I
so
let us know what that
yeah,
means. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, so like so what happens is like you go in for the hearing and that's the public testimony. Sometimes, and they're doing it less this year because they're assholes, but sometimes they'll do a work session where they then actually take the time to sit and talk about a bill and the pros and cons and if there's anything they can do to like meet in the middle. And then if they actually do that, sometimes they will come up with like a happy medium. This is when like our government works the way it's supposed to. And this still happens on some of the committees. Like I was on environment and agriculture a few years ago. They work very, very well together. But again, some of those things are just not as contentious. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
how far should fertilizers be used from a body of water is easier to
Mm,
compromise on than trans rights. You know what I mean? But
absolutely.
but you're supposed to work on it, and then you have an session. It's called the executive session. Like like the term like make an executive decision. Like I'm just gonna make the executive. Like we're talking about. I don't know where it comes from. I'm sure there's somebody smarter than me that knows where it derives from. But it basically means we're actually doing the committee vote. We're gonna take the vote on what the committee is going to make as their official recommendation when it goes to the House floor. So but execing a bill when the committee execs it, that's pretty much how it's probably going to go on the floor. Because especially if it's down party lines. So if it's down party lines and you have all the Republicans voted one way and all the Dems voted another way, you can pretty much guess that when it goes to the House floor, that that's probably how it's going to go. So it is giving you a sense of what you're probably up against. Um, so that's discouraging, but then also you know what you're working with. So I just got a bunch of emails today about when a bunch of my bills are going to be exec, and so I'm gonna want to either there's no reason to really go in person except to like be there, but I'll probably watch online to see how the vote goes.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. Yeah, no, we're gonna be looking forward to it too, and we're gonna be a lot more. We're gonna be at the state house too, hopefully filming a lot more and putting a lot more pressure on these committees and these votes. Um, is there anything else so I want to just kind of mention to people too, like especially in Discord, and the people that are watching on YouTube and Twitch. Paige is going to be with Mel next week on Thursday. I know tomorrow Mel is going to be with Karishma, so definitely come. I'm going to be watching that tomorrow. There's going to be New Hampshire Talk Town Hall, the first one with Mel, with Karishma at 7:30 p.m. And then tomorrow, or the week from tomorrow, same time slot around 7:30 p.m. We're going to have Paige here with Mel. So we're looking forward to talking to Paige
Yeah.
again. Is there anything else you want to share, Paige? Any last calls, any
Yeah.
CTAs, any last
Well,
words?
yeah. So tomorrow, I'm forgetting what the bill number is. Okay. I said it a million times. I think like this is not making light of it. Like I cannot process numbers. Like I'm not dyslexic, but I cannot remember. Like I just can't remember bill numbers. I flip them. It's like I'm very good with words. I can't
Mhm.
do numbers, so I never remember bill numbers, but I'll remember what it's about. So the bill, the open enrollment bill that we were talking about yesterday, have you gotten like a good explanation of how that happened or what was going on with that?
Is it the universal open enrollment bill? Is that what it is? HB
Yes.
771? I think that's what I'm looking at.
It,
I don't know much about it. I'm going to be honest. I've heard of it, but I don't
so
know much about it.
okay. And I'm still hearing little bits of it. And so if anybody else knows more then to chime in. But basically
Mhm.
what happened is a bill can be retained. Okay. So first of all, every 2 years is a term.
Mhm.
So in this term, there's the first year and the second year. The first year is the budget year where they pass the budget. The second year, you really can't put in any bills that need money because the budget has already been determined. The other thing is that from year one to year two, you can do different things like retain a bill in the committee, which means you decide not to exec it. You're just going to like hold on to it and not do anything with it yet. And there's just all kinds of that's just like a strategic procedural move. Another thing that happens when we're voting is we can lay a bill on the table, which means it's like come to the House floor, but instead of voting to kill it or move it forward, we are just laying it on the table, which means we can pick it back up anytime. So my understanding of what happened was there was a good bill that was retained in committee last year. I believe we voted on it this year to pass it in the House. I think this is the timeline. Again, I could be wrong, but the concept is correct regardless of the details. So basically, it was retained at another time, passed the House, or passed the House and was retained, however it happened. It was held on to before it was sent over to the Senate. So because it was held onto, it was able to be picked up as an amendment in the Senate bill. They could attach it to the Senate bill. So what they did is with the amendment, they just completely changed the bill. They wiped out all of the language from what the bill actually was and
Mhm.
changed it to the open enrollment language and attached it to a bill that has already been voted on that people want. And so then if the Senate passes that, then it would need to come back to the House
Mhm.
to be passed by the House because now it's changed. So we'd have to pass
Mhm.
it again. But if we pass it, it will have passed through with that change never got a hearing, right? That amendment that was made that was really a new bill never got heard. It just got added and voted on. And
That's
that's
doesn't
how
seem
they're
right.
trying to sneak in. Oh, no, it doesn't. But there's all these procedural moves. The procedural moves are so complex that there are certain people who are tapped to learn them, to be able to make split-second calls on the House floor for the best strategy for us to get to where we want to be.
I mean, it just seems like, yeah, I mean, it's by design. They're just trying to make complicated for people. So like we can't, we don't have much power. It's just
Oh no.
not them. It's such it's like such the antithesis of democracy, you know?
And what did they do? They put that bike bill out. That bike bill is not going to pass,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
That bike bill was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Nobody on either side of the aisle, Republicans were not going to like that bike bill, right? It wasn't going to pass, but they knew that it would cause a ton of outrage. So while everybody's looking over here, the bike bill that wasn't even going to pass, they're doing the sneaky stuff over here because they know we're not paying attention.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, it's 771 FN is the House bill, which is establishing universal open enrollment. You can attend any public school from anywhere in the state. That does that sound right?
That does.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think there was, yeah, I would have to look at online. If you go to the bill on the Gen Court website, you can
Mm-hmm.
see every single stage that it went through. So I can take a look at that and like clarify with people. But
It's gonna destroy public education in the state as we know it. If it's what I'm reading, I mean, it's just going to it's
no,
just
no, no.
absolute. Go ahead.
What's going to happen is no, no, no. You're 100% right. Go ahead. You're absolutely right.
No, no, I mean, like, it's just, yeah, it's just if it's what I'm reading, which is like you're gonna allow anyone from any part of New Hampshire to attend any public school in New Hampshire, it's just going to overload certain districts. It's going to wipe out others. It's going to just destroy public education as we know it. It doesn't make any
Oh,
sense at all.
because what will happen is the people who are in lower income districts
Hmm.
will likely, but only the more privileged people from those
Sure.
districts because they're not going to get transportation. So it has to be the people who can get their kids someplace else or have a special reason to do that. So then all the talented kids with, right? So people who want to get on the good sports teams, the kids who have the most privileges who are able to go somewhere, they're going to be able to get in, taking their money with them. That is going to take money out of that school system. And that school system will not even be able to budget from month to month. So, yes, it's going to completely destroy schools. 100%.
Great.
And that is the point. Just remember, that is the point. No matter how much they try to say they care about choice, to help. Fuck that. We all know they don't give a shit about choice.
Oh
They
yeah.
do not care about choice. They do not care about kids. They care about controlling, and they care about having an uneducated mass of people to do their labor and to um not be able to have access to even being able to rise up.
Yeah.
Um if we are wrapping up, though, I will say I have a lot of hope. And I have a lot of hope for so many reasons. Did you see the high school kids today
Yeah. Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Nashua?
Tell us a little
You
bit. Like,
know?
yeah, tell us a little bit about them.
So yeah, it's really cool. So we have two huge high schools in Nashua. One of them, they all walked out, or whoever was protesting walked out at noon, and then they coordinated driving to the other high school by 12:30, where they all then went to Stello Stadium together, and they had signs, they had speakers, they had all kinds of stuff. And here's what got me pissed: the school put out a notice basically saying, well, fine, you can use your First Amendment rights, but you need to know that this is no different than any other time you're being truant, and you will have the consequences. And a bunch of the athletes have their divisionals or something this weekend, and they told them that if they go, they will not be allowed to play in their sports.
Wow.
I'm like, I saw it and I was like, hey, I was like, what an amazing, like, we should be praising them, right? They should be getting praised by their school as being civically engaged, as being organized, as being passionate, as doing their civic duty, as caring for their community. And what are we doing? We are telling them that they're going to have negative consequences because they shouldn't be doing this.
Absolutely. I mean, I mean, listen, the kids are going to be all right. That's what I say. You know, the kid, I know like we saw like a Gen Z like push a little bit during during 2024 towards the right. But I think like, I think that was like a kind of like an anomaly. I think every generation generally, until we see differently, every generation is a little bit more liberal than the last. So I think,
Oh, for sure, for sure. And I think that was just like, honestly, it's like young kids who are trying on their identity. Like, I tried on
absolutely.
different identities when I was that age. I mean, did they choose a stupid one for a little while? Yes. But like, let's hope that, I mean, we all chose stupid identities. Theirs was just worse. So, I hope, see you later, Bridget. Thank you.
Yeah, we're
But
wrapping
I
up too.
do have hope.
Definitely make sure
We're
you guys are
wrapping up.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely make sure you guys are back tomorrow for
Tomorrow.
Krishma and Mel, and a week from tomorrow, Paige will be back with Mel as
Yes.
well. And yeah, this was
Yes.
great. Any final words for the masses?
Yeah, just thank you guys for everything you're doing, especially this group. You guys are making the change in New Hampshire. I fucking love lately when people are like, meh, meh, social media, blah. And I'm just like, no, I'm like, social media is bringing people together. It's bringing us together in real life, and it's getting our asses to where we need to be. Social media is the change that is happening right now. And it's because all of you are doing what you can from any place. Maybe it's just commenting and sharing, all the way to folks like you leaders who are putting out the content that enables and empowers people. We're doing it. And I hope that you're all as proud of yourselves as I am of everybody, and proud to be a part of this community. And because I know that this is what Aria and I set out to do. We wanted to start a movement. We wanted to bring people together and make sure that people know that they can be empowered and make change. So thank you all for being a part of that.
Yeah, and thank
We
you, Paige,
appreciate you.
for empowering me. People don't if people don't know the story, how we met like through your class and at Auspicious, and yeah, no, I think it's really important that people know how much power is at their fingertips and what kind of change they can really make. You know, so I appreciate you, Paige. I appreciate the work that we're doing and the work we have ahead of us, and I can't wait for
Oh, wait,
uh your interview with Mel. Go ahead.
wait, I have one real quick thing. I
Yeah.
heard that the Criminal Justice Committee exec three of the death penalty bills, and they unanimously killed all of them in committee.
Wow. Wow. That's great. That's great news. That is great news to leave on, guys. That is amazing news to leave on, I think. Great work, everyone who's involved with that. Because fuck, man, what an archaic thought to go back to that. So awesome. Great news. We're gonna leave on that bit of good news, I think, Paige. So I appreciate you sitting down with me as always.
Follow tomorrow all day. We're going to be at the State House voting. I'm going to try to get lots of comments from the Progressive Caucus, keep you guys posted. So keep hanging. Thanks, everybody.
Sounds good, guys. Bye. Have a good night. Be safe. Fuck ICE.